This week, we got some exciting news out of Washington. Yeah, really. There may be some changes to retirement savings coming up. Stay tuned. So, I'm sure you're not crazy excited about this new law that may be coming out as much as I am as a planner. But this new law, the Secure Act 2.0, has a bunch of really cool things in the works. The biggest among them is raising the contribution limits for IRAs, 401ks, along with adding some Roth features, plus pushing back the required minimum distribution age even further than where it stands today, which is age 72. So in this video, I wanted to take the time to go through what they're talking about and what looks like will start to become law, at least here, most likely at the end of 2022. So let's dive in. So here we are. As I said, the law passed overwhelmingly in the House, 414 to 5. And again, this is an update to the Secure Act that was passed in December 2019, and this kind of expands upon that. One of the cool pieces about this new law is the mandatory automatic enrollment. So for those of you who are still working and maybe getting a new job, right, they're automatically going to enroll you into the plan once you become eligible. And part of the reason they're trying to set something like this up is to drive contributions into retirement accounts. Because here in America, we're not really great about saving on our own. They're going to try and force you to do so. Right? It doesn't mean you can't change it or you can't get out of the contributions. However, they're going to try and start to automatically enroll people so that they're participating in their retirement accounts, which ultimately is a good thing, right? Getting more people to save money, less reliance on social programs in the future, such as Social Security, just will make us and put us into a better position. Probably one of the biggest gripes I hear about, or at least one of my biggest gripes, are the limits around contributions into your retirement accounts. In most cases, if you're doing the max out of the 401k and you don't have an opportunity to do any IRA or Roth IRA, then you're stuck. You're stuck within the limits of contributing to your 401k plan. For some, that works. For others who want to sock away a lot more money, the options are very, very limited. And so one of the cool features that they're talking about here is adding a catch-up contribution, a higher catch-up contribution limit. Right, so as it currently stands, when you reach age 50, there's currently a catch-up contribution. It's about $6,500 a year. Right, that's on top of your normal contribution, which stands in 2022 at $20,500. And so they're talking about increasing that and hopefully increasing it as you age. So somewhere starting around 50, but around age 62, it jumps up, and they're saying maybe somewhere like $10,000. And then it's indexed for inflation, which would also help in the future, as we've seen this year at a 7% inflation rate where everything's running hot. It would allow the contributions to rise up as well, which again would be very beneficial because it gives the participant, you, the ability to put more money in, not be taxed in the year you do so, and taxed on the way out. And so there's always some strategy behind when we want to take taxes or when we don't want to take taxes, and this just gives us more flexibility for you to do so. So that'd be a really awesome feature if they add that in. Another piece of this legislation is to update the employer matching contribution. So as we stand today, the employer can only make contributions into your 401k, your traditional 401k, meaning when you go to take that money out in retirement, you're going to be taxed on it. Well, with some of this new proposal, it would change that rule. It would allow employers to make Roth contributions as the employer match, meaning you're not going to be taxed when you go to take the money out. And so again, this just provides some flexibility for either the employer or the participant. I'm not really sure how that's gonna work or look like as to who gets to designate how they want the employer match to go, but it opens the door for some flexibility and some options. So I know I've talked to a lot of you already, but the new update to the law is going to change the required minimum distribution age again. Remember, the RMD age also short for required minimum distribution, is the age at which you have to start taking money out of your IRA, your 401k, and your tax deferred accounts. So the cool thing is that they're talking about changing the age back to 73, 74, and 75. Right? So they're going to push that age back farther, which gives you more flexibility to take the amount of income you want out of those accounts without being forced to. And why is that a good thing for you? Well, it creates, again, more tax opportunities, more tax saving strategies, where maybe we can do more Roth conversions, and maybe we can force out some income at certain years before you turn on RMD. So it gives you more flexibility to delay those distributions until you absolutely have to take them. And so part of the law that they've come out and said that they want to implement is moving the RMD age to age 73 starting next year, which would be 2023. So again, the RMD age is 72 as it stands today. They're talking about pushing that back to 73, age 73 next year. Then in 2030, they're going to push it back to age 74. And then 3 years later, in 2033, they want to push that to age 75. And the ultimate goal being you'll take out your required minimum distributions at age 75 as the latest age. Now remember, we started at basically age 70 and a half. We're now sitting at age 72. So they're talking about pushing that back, and pushing that back, which again would be really nice because it gives us some strategies and some options to realize some taxes when we want to. Instead of being forced to take money out, it allows you to take the money out when you want to. Another little side caveat that they've added that maybe isn't such a big deal to most of you all, but they did do something to where they're trying to allow employers to match student loan payoffs. So they're saying if you're making contributions into the 401k, the employer can basically apply, a match to your student loans instead of your 401k. Now, probably one of the coolest features that they're talking about adding, which actually got this question the other day on, is the ability to look up what they call retirement savings lost and found. Right, so building out a database that can help you find your long lost retirement accounts. Right, if you're changing jobs a lot and maybe you didn't even realize you were making 401k contributions and it's 10 years later and you have no idea where that money is, they're talking about creating a tool that would allow you to essentially type in your information and find that money. It's similar to what you can do for that like lost property lookup, right? You can search and find some maybe long lost inheritance that you didn't know you had, right? It's a similar version to this, but it seems like a lot more relatable, useful for most of us, as if we're changing jobs a lot, we're still making contributions and we just forget to roll that money out until we're maybe dead and gone. So that's probably one of the coolest, lesser known changes that they're talking about making that you probably won't see a lot in the headlines, but definitely a very valuable tool for those of you who change jobs a lot and maybe are just unsure as to, hey, did I leave something out there that I forgot about? Well, now there's a tool that'll help you to look that up. And most of these other features that are kind of additional provisions, as they put it, aren't really big factors for most of your clients or for those of you who are coming upon retirement age. These are focusing around 403Bs. Maybe they're going to change some of those design features and do some things with some credits for some small business employee offerings, tax credits. So it's not really all in all too much there in the additional provisions, but there's still a lot baked into this thing just in the overall bill and package that they're talking about. Again, summary of increasing the limits, so allowing you to save more and set aside more to lower your taxable income, pushing out the required minimum distribution age, the RMD age, to something like age 75, allowing some Roth contributions from your employer, depending on what that's going to look like. And then providing a cool tool to look up some maybe lost and found accounts that you forgot you or didn't know that you had. So, in a week where there's not a lot of news, not a lot coming out, we still have a lot of the same old headlines popping up about inflation, supply chain, and the war. This was kind of a nice welcome surprise, at least for us, the planners, to kind of keep in the back of our minds and strategies for you this year as we're moving forward, as we think about, hey, how do we continue to maximize the value we get from retirement accounts, utilizing tax rates, and how we can save taxes today, but not just today, but in the future as well. So I know, again, not super exciting stuff for you, but this gets us really excited because it allows us some opportunities to help you save more money on taxes. So there you have it. I hope this video was helpful. Again, some nice strategies potentially coming up here for 2022 and beyond. So stay tuned. We'll make sure we keep you updated on any of these things that change or what the situation will look like in the next couple of months. If you're listening to this on the podcast, be sure to subscribe so you get the weekly updates and you can listen to it whenever you feel is convenient for you. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel. Please share it with your friends. We love to continue to grow the channel and provide some great content for those who are really looking for it. As always, have a great weekend.